Yeah, what's up, guys? First of all, if you bought crypto or you bought into crypto this week, right? First of all, I want to extend my condolence to your account. I just told you guys something about BTC on this channel. This is what we do here with BTC on this channel. It's not just prediction. We tell you basically what is going to happen to BTC. If X happens, Y is going to happen. That is how we analyze BTC on this channel. If you watch every single analysis I've made on BTC, you will know that 8 out of 10 times they all play out exactly as predicted. In fact, they go directly to the exact numbers that I said that are going to go to. I've been in the crypto space for 5 years and actively trading the FX market for 2 years, and I can tell you guys, BTC is a pair that if I tell you run, run first before you ask questions. If I tell you to sell, sell before you ask questions. So we have been talking about BTC falling to 70, 75K. A lot of people, some people actually dropped some comments in some of my videos and were like, am I Joe Powell that I started? Why am I predicting BTC is going to crash whenever that person is saying BTC is pushing back? Well, I only speak from a technical angle. I only speak from a technical angle. I don't really care what's happening in the market globally. What I focus more on the technical because that is where the technical world technicals always peak before fundamentals falling. Because before fundamentals are reviewed, right? Um before fundamentals are reviewed, technicals, the big guys are already positioning themselves. So you can actually see them positioning themselves from the technicals. That is why I prefer technicals to fundamental trading or in what sentimental trading or any form of trading at all. I told you guys BTC is going to 70K, 75K. This is where BTC is heading to. I told you guys that we're going to have a gap over here. Price is going to come into that gap. People are going to buy into this fake pump. And I can tell you right now, a lot of people watching this video right now are still holding their coin, believing that we are going to the moon because one YouTuber with 100K subscribers and 1 million subscribers is pushing certain coins out there, telling them that the market is going to pump. Let me tell you something about YouTube trading. It's not about the followers of. Sorry guys, I just had to make this comment before I do the analysis. So if you don't if you find it boring, just skip to the analysis. So it's not about the subscribers on YouTube channel. There are people that have been privileged to listen to traders that are not on YouTube, but I can tell you that these guys are actually the ones that make the most out of the market. Forget all the noises on YouTube. Follow people with great content that give value, not ignore the amount of subscribers. In fact, you should subscribe so that you should grow the amount of subscribers, all right? But focus more on the content, focus more on the consistency of analysis. Since January, I have been doing analysis on BTC, and every single time it plays out the same way I said it was going to play out. That is the consistency. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but just reminding you that in this industry, volume does not mean necessarily mean knowledge. Somebody might have the audience, somebody might have the amount of subscribers, but that doesn't mean they actually understand how a particular industry work. Crypto is where I started from. I can tell you guys that I study BTC. I don't just trade BTC. So whenever we tell you to sell, sell, my brother, then ask questions later. Let's head over to the analysis. So in my previous analysis, I told you guys that this we're going to have two relative equal lows over here, right? Let me just do it this way so that it's easy for us to understand. So I'm trying to show you guys the next step, the next level for BTC, and I'm also going to go down to the small time frame to show you guys um where you might want to sell from in the beginning of the week because I don't suggest you just going to sell right now because we might see some retracement, but I'm going to show you that anyways. But let's look at the higher time frame again. So this is where BTC is heading to. We have a neckline liquidity over here. Now price is going to bounce massively when it gets to this zone. Though it's around 50 something K, but we might see some bounce from this, but we are not targeting this level right now. We are more interested in this particular liquidity over here. So this is the structure we are looking at, and I told you guys that this is the last structure of this bull market. This is on a monthly time frame. If we lose this structure, the bull market is on. But let me be honest with you. The bull market has actually ended, though, technically. What I'm showing you here is just more of a last resort, worst comes to worst. But I can tell you that since we started predicting the crash of BTC from 115 or 10k, you can go and check our past videos. I lost the hope of buying back into crypto since I think is it October, September last year. You if you've been following me for some time, you also verify this. So this whole move over here, I'm not really confident that the bull market is still on, right? For me personally, I don't think the bull market is still active because I'm only following, judging by what is on the chart right here. So, but anyways, this is the last structure that the bull market we need to rely on in the course of this year to see if the market is going to bounce back. But in the meantime, let's head over to the daily time frame and see what the daily is talking about. So on the daily time frame, um, we are targeting this level over here. This is the level, this is the liquidity, right? This is one of the equal lows or relative equal lows that BTC is targeting. So once price gets to 80k, it's going to take out this level. Then it is going to react a bit. Then before we start coming down to take out this level, but this level, that's why I said 75k. This level is a must. BTC must come down to this level to take out this level. Now, what are you supposed to do, right? Or what are you supposed to do in this week? Now, key zones I want you to mark out this week, all right, is obviously this level, but you can filter that down to the 4-hour time frame. So if you go to the 4-hour time frame, you want to look out for BTC tracing into the zone. Now, mind you, we might not really see a clean retracement into this level, but you can just go down to the 1-hour time frame. Then you do something like this. Do something like this. So this is going to be the first point of interest I'm going to be looking out for. If I want to continue to sell, if I'm had me that I was not in a sell position, I want to look for out of sell position this week. This is the level I'm going to be looking out for, right? But like I said, guys, the target still remains 70, 75k. If you have crypto, anything in your wallet, you shouldn't be. If you've been following this channel, you shouldn't even be holding any coin right now, right? Following my analysis, not a financial advice, but just me breaking down the charts based on what is happening. So you want to mark out this zone. In fact, if you use supply support and resistance, you want to mark out this entire zone over here. Then you want to apply some trend line. All right. So you either start looking for sales. You either start looking for sales, right? When price retraces into this trend line, or when price retraces into this zone, which I don't think is going to happen, but maybe this trend line possibly, then you want to start looking for sales over there. Now, if you're also applying smart money concepts right into your trading, we're going to close below this low over here. So this is obviously going to be like a breakout structure to the downside. Then you can now apply your Fibonacci. You can now apply your Fibonacci or whatever, then wait for retracement and take your trade according to your own trading system. So we obviously going to have a breakout structure. So this is going to be the breakout structure. Now, another thing you also have to pay attention to with BTC is that the very first breakout structure of the week normally signifies where the market is going to head to. You know, for the majority of the days of the week, right? So this is the breakout structure that you're going to be looking out for. Wait for a pullback, let's say Monday, Tuesday, then take for a sell position. Do not buy BTC. Do not buy BTC. There was a time I told you guys, that was like in my WhatsApp group, that after the Trump speech, we saw BTC rallied, and I told you go to your chart, right? I held a buy position somewhere around this area because this entire zone. I told you that this entire zone was the pivot point for BTC. So we're either going to bounce strongly from this area or sell massively, even though our bias has always been 70, 75K since the beginning of the year. But I told you guys that in case you want to risk catching, let's say, an early entry, had that Trump speech was going to pump the market, that you should go and draw a 1 hour trend line. If you see market breaking this trend line, okay, I think this was the trend line. Sorry, this was the trend line over here because this was the low, low, high, high. So I told you guys that at any point in time, if you see price breaking this trend line, get the F out of the market. Let me just look for that post on WhatsApp so that I can show you guys. Guys, so this was the post over here. Say if you're buying BTC here, go to the 1 hour time frame. As you can see, that was the day Trump made that speech over here. So draw a trend line on the 1 hour time frame. If you see BTC breaking that trend line anywhere in the daily structure, get the F out of BTC. Its 8K is a pivot point for BTC. What it simply means is that once we see BTC losing its 8K, that is all 75K is guaranteed. And that's basically what's playing out in the market right now. So um common sense would tell anyone that once this trend line broke, which it broke over here, that was just it. BTC was going down to 75K. And that's what happened on the chart now. So guys, no much analysis apart from the fact that we are still heading to 75K at the time of watching this video. So yeah, now for those asking if there's signal group or anything, well, we might be setting up signal community hopefully next month or so. Although right now I'm more focused on my trades because I'm not really focused on making money from signal groups, but yeah, I have my trades to deal with as well. But if that's gonna be possible, we'll let you guys know. But if you in case you want to be part of that when it launches, all right, this year, then just try and get into our WhatsApp group and stick around. Let's see how it goes. But for now, guys, keep selling BTC until it hits 70K, 75K. All right. Peace out and do have a lovely trading week ahead. Peace.